Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Tone, Liberian Public Radio. It's Friday, so why not? But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country, because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them, and because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. Doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying, those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because of their vote, our leaders will be able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est autiste encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé quand il va Sylvie il a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse l'Amérique n'a pas loupé t'as bien de moi avec nous en ce moment on va battre au moins néo mon temps dit est à mon ça va dire pour moi il pleure avec la loupé yo
doing anything that people get amended. And with me from 2005 to date. We're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired peacefully and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion. And it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You know what I'm saying? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on the soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say, I'm on record.
Yao, abela lokeyo, bivito jogbai, bivito noba, artiste mo peyo. Manager Gigi, ouais peut jamais forcer ou, si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noscan Yassin de Toyebli, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les deux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about putting road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we will prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talked nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children tuition, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIAN Public Radio. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful evening, and we're still trying to organize ourselves here as much as we can. So I want to thank all of you again this evening for tuning in to LIBERIAN Public Radio. We're going to be rocking it all over this place here tonight. Safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us together. We ask you, my Lord, to continue to guide us. My Lord, we ask you to continue to protect us. We want to thank you for your protection for all of us. We ask you, my Lord, to continue to bless us. Only through you that things are possible. And we ask you, my Lord, to continue to guide all of us. Give us wisdom. My Lord, as we come here again tonight to open our mouth, we ask you to guide our tongue. Whatever comes out of our mouth tonight must be something of a decent statement. My Lord, we ask you to protect all of us and continue to provide the protection for everyone. We ask you to bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. We ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you, folks. Let's get it going here. So again, we want to thank all of you that are watching and say thank you. Please share this video as much as you can. We ask you to please share this video as much as you can. We hope that you will be able to do that. Tonight's program, though, it's going to be very interesting, though, to be honest with you. So we will do our best here, as usual. And at the end, of course, we're going to have to, as some of the analysts will be joining us later on. But let me say this here. I just want to, and I'm not here to praise an individual. That's not what I do. I'm not here to praise anyone. That's not what I do. I'm here to be factual. And if my facts, what I believe to be facts, is leading me to look like something of a praising, so be it. Quite recently, of course, it's been in the news that the Republic of Liberia are characterizing the press statement of the ambassador, like a U.S. ambassador to Liberia, as being something of an inaccurate. And they went ahead to make their explanation why they believe the ambassador's statement was not accurate enough. And so they have what I call rebuttal. But we'll come to that. Some 2 nights or so ago, Tuesdays to be specific, we have one of the young dynamic Liberians, agree with him on that. Prince Sharif was on here on LPR. I don't agree with many of the things he was stating. I don't agree with the contents. I don't even agree with the explanation. But what I believe and what I really enjoy and appreciate about that young man is that he was defending his position fiercely. He was not afraid. He didn't miss words. He was at one time combative, at one time demanding. And here's one of the things here he did. And then I'm going to play the video. But when he was talking, I was, you know me, nobody can close my mouth except when Prince was talking. I was like, okay, how do I respond to these things? But it was very interesting. He made those requests. He made a request to the government of Liberia. He was not much specific, but he said those who are responsible, those entities within the government of the Republic of Liberia that are responsible for everything that his ambassador have talked about, they must come up and tell us. They must do so quickly, he says. I'm just paraphrasing. We're not begging you. We're demanding you to come and respond on behalf of the government. Let me say that again. We're not begging you. We're demanding you. Now, the question is, can I, Samson Toe, a heavyweight, I consider myself, but do you think I'm able to demand any institution in Liberia, let alone an entity that is part of the Liberian government? So I just want to say here, speculation, of course, but I think Prince Johnson most likely, or Prince Sharif most likely is an insider. And I think the people listen to him. Because after that, the government, through the Ministry of Information, came out to give some clarification. Rarely, this government will come out to respond to anything. They usually don't respond to death affecting people's lives in Liberia. They don't respond to serious accident. They don't respond to national issues of importance. They don't respond. The government mouthpiece don't respond to those things. And we're all going to be out here claiming, asking them to respond. They don't respond to those things. Then when the ambassador made a statement, it was quiet. Nobody said nothing. And then Prince Sharif came on LPR. You can say it's a coincidence. I don't care. My belief is not. Prince Sharif came on LPR and demanded that these people must respond. And let me play that video. Very interesting. You can say all you want to say about Prince Sharif, but I think this young man is up to something. Watch this.
I want to use this medium to call on those agencies, those requisite authority of government, that there is a need for you to be able to speak to this thing. Look, we are not begging you. Let me say this. We are not begging you. The Liberian people are not begging you to speak to these things. We are giving you an ultimatum because you are working for the Liberian people.
We are not begging you. We are giving you an ultimatum because you're working. Do I have that kinds of, now I'm not going to say power, but do I even have that kind of connection? Do I, at Samson Toe, the liberal progressive, the most big mouth liberal ever? I'm not one of the Northern Abe liberals, though, Because the northern liberal, you don't depend on them. They will rock you and leave you. Look at Joe mentioned. Northern liberal, eastern liberal, you don't depend on them. But on a very serious note, this was on Tuesday. And you know, one thing I also noticed when we're doing these podcasts, these platforms, when we're on here talking to people with different names watching. I don't know who they are. Most of them, I've never met them before. In fact, I got a scare of my life when I was in Liberia. I think I told you guys this story one time. So the president, when I was in Liberia, he was living on his at his mansion house on 9th Street. So this one morning we were coming from the LU campus on Tottenham Boulevard, and they stopped everybody because the president coming. So we stopped. President went through. All of the security people went through, and this young man on the sidewalk, well dressed. He looked in the car like, "Aren't you Mr. Samson too?" My goodness. I'm like, okay, this is it. I said, at first I said, you're talking to me? Like I didn't hear it. Because he looked like a security guy. Are you not Mr. Samson too? OPR? You're talking to me? Until the young man that was in the car with me said, "Yeah, Mr. Toy, he's talking to you." Well, I knew exactly. I knew he was talking to me. But my goodness, I mean, the security, President, we had your pass, all the security, and then I was going to know that I'm you. I've not told that the other way talking about here, America. But anyhow, no, on a very serious note. So the young man, I've been watching you, Mr. Toe. I watch you all the time, he says. Right there on 9th Street. I'd never met him before. So when we're doing these things, I'm sure people are watching. Okay? But the point here is this. When Prince Sherry will come up on this platform to make a demand of the people that are running the government, to say you must answer. And within a day or so, the government decided that they were going to answer. So I'm like, wow. These people that can be speaking for the government or admiring the government, or they're using their platform to, I think I got to have a conversation. I have to have a conversation with Mr. So. I'm going to change myself. I think they think here, I got to start speaking for the government too. So that at least when I say something to people, will do it. But right now I can sit there and say, President, we are. Say hi to Samson too. And nothing will happen. Nothing. But Prince Sharif came up here and made that statement, my brothers and sisters. And then the government came out and accepted. I'll read all of them, because the other day here, when I was out here the other day, I read Ambassador's statement, and I was very, very fiery. The ambassador put slap in our ears. The ambassador slap us, give her one dirty slap. I was saying all night, dirty slap. Until Dwalo said, take time without your dirty slap before you go through the camera and can't hit me. But on a very serious note, after the ambassador's statement at that time, okay, after the ambassador's statement was an eye-opener to all of us. Because some people say they're advocates, they talk, trying to help the Liberian to understand. I, on the other hand, on here from time to time, comment, oh, the people don't do good road. They do this, they do that. I show all the bad roads and stuff like that. Ambassador went, he didn't just travel, he traveled all over the country. He came back with an assessment. And that, my brothers and sisters, is the assessment that the government of the Republic of Liberia, when the ambassador made a press statement, the government of the Republic of Liberia, through their media arms, said that this was the ambassador's statement was not accurate. Okay. But I will read some stuff to you. I'm trying to get the exact which my call, and I will read it. I'll read it. Okay. So, but here's the interesting thing I want you to pay attention to when I'm reading this thing here. In their response to the ambassador, they were very, very polite. They were not their CDC said. In fact, the very first statement said that the ambassador had made some crucial statement, that they correct statement, so to speak, except there were some inaccurate, and I can't get that right now. I'm not too sure why. Okay, but just give me a moment here. Give me a moment. Okay. Where's the bad boy here? I thought I just saw it a few minutes ago. I mean, you come, I'll go to the other stuff. Okay, let's see here. Maybe this one. Usually they do that, then they say go to this other one. But anyway, let me go to the next one. Get out of this guy. Because I know I saw it earlier. But anyhow, the point here is this. While I'm still filling around, while I'm still here filling around, let's see here. The reason why I want a specific paper, because there are some papers that will tell you some stuff, and they try to. Okay, yeah. So what's this thing? Why did it? Why am I not finding it now, folks? I can't find it. It was just here. I had it earlier. Okay. All right. They want to play game. All right. We'll go to the other one. I'm gonna go to the other paper. So hopefully, I hope that you will still be able to understand it. But their response, I stated, they were very polite. You know, it wasn't one of those Jefferson Coachy type response or any of those comment from any of their surrogate that was going to be degrading or okay. Oh, there's another one here too. But they were very polite. They just but folks, we're gonna have fun. Don't worry. And then on the second half of that, I will also talk about the Ambassador BOAKAI rumors of picking a running mate. And this running mate issue here is really doing some serious you know how the magician trying to fit his whole body in it. You look at me right now. Then he said he got a box. Said something to get in a box. Then I start touching my body, going here and there, trying to. That's what's happening right now. Everything jubo. But anyhow, let me read this thing here, okay? And can stay with me. Let's read it. This is they say government respond to U.S. ambassador concern over rural health. You see how they didn't say government respond with inaccuracies of the ambassador. But that's what exactly it is. But you see how they word it here? Government respond to U.S. ambassadors' concerns over rural health and education center. It said the Liberian government has responded to concern raised by the U.S. concern now. It's a concern raised by the U.S. ambassador, Michael McCarthy, regarding the state of some health and education center in the rural part of the country. In a press release issued on April 26, the government acknowledged the concern. You see what I'm going with this? The government acknowledged the concern, but noted that the narrative as expressed by the ambassador McCarthy was inaccurate. Okay, so the concern was acknowledged. They're not discarding the concern. They're not downplaying it. They acknowledge that. Okay. The government highlighted its effort to improve critical infrastructure and invest in the health and education despite global economic, and the ambassador told us that people, they say, well, that Putin war, global shortage and whatever, global economic challenges that have slow growth in many parts of the world. The recently concluded 23rd International Symposium for Community Health Workers hosted in Monrovia was cited as a powerful example of the country's dedication to building a health workforce. Okay. The government, through the Ministry of Information, here we go now, Prince Ali finished saying, we demand, Minister, when was the last time you're not yet a Minister of Information say anything? When was the last time? People don't say nothing. They don't talk. They don't talk. Especially the minister, they don't say nothing. But they want your Prince Sherry say, you better can't talk. The man can't talk. The man say, you better talk. He say, yes, sir. Prince Sherry running the show. He came up, that day when he came up here, this young man, look, before I go on reading here, like what I've observed about Prince Sherry over the years, provocative, that's for sure, okay? Not in a sense of conflicting, generating provocative process, no, but in a way of enlightening. He wants to draw your attention. And so the way he expressed himself, the way he talks about issues, quite different from some of the surrogates who, for me, they are very limited. And so when they get to the process of trying to explain and the fact they are limited, just like me, then they start cussing. They start going to people's private lives and what have you. Okay. So, but the point I want to make about Prince Sherry here, when he was out here the other day, I was just looking at it. I said, how do you respond to somebody who not only will try to deviate from the question that you're asking, but not only that, but he was also try to connect those some other issues that are not even part of the conversation, but force you into those areas. If you're not careful, then you're going to go into a rabbit hole with him. And he's very good at that. Very good at that. So you have to be sure to put your thumb on the issue that you want to discuss and stay with that. Or else Prince Sherry will haul you into the rabbit hole and perhaps you might not be able to come back out. So the day he came up here, and I was telling my wife earlier because she was watching when I was putting the video, when he came up here, he purposely, how long does it take to put your hat on? Purposely came up here. When he waited until the video started, until I turned the camera to him, then he decided to put his beret on. Here comes the CDC beret. Anybody have question? I'm listening, he says. But let me go on reading. So let me go on reading and I'll come back to Prince Sherry. But anyhow, so they say here, the government through the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism, like the whole Rainey, also clarify. This is for me. Maybe many of you know that he can clarify a lot of things, but for me, I've not seen that before. So maybe clarify that the 60. Here's it. Remember the ambassador made a comment about the $60 million that the U.S. government is sending. Now he's going to clarify now. Okay. Clarified that the $60 million referenced by the ambassador, McCARTHY, was not entirely coming to the government of Liberia, but was expended through USAID own funding mechanism directly to selected project implementers. The government remained grateful. After he finished saying that, the 18 year, the ambassador said, not so, but this way. But anyway, I thank God. However, he said, the government remained grateful for the goodwill and support it continues to receive from all development partners, including the United States, including the U.S. government. The Liberian government said it valued, and folks, I'm reading here, what I'm reading from is from Front Page Africa. The Liberian government said it valued the long-standing partnership it shared with the U.S. and believe that the open communication between both governments is important to the substance of this historic tie. Then if this is your guy historic tie, your guy good communication process, why would an ambassador leave from the South and go make that kind of public announcement? If you have, and this is, I truly believe, I don't believe that these people have this, well, I just want to say, because if there was certain communication channel established where trust is established and the ambassador can talk to you and say, my man, we're giving you X, Y, whatever, you're not doing this, or then you will implement. Then why would you think the ambassador going to go to blow the horn for everybody all over the world to hear, for Samson to be reading it that day? And if we are allowed the ambassador to slap or give us one dirty slap. But anyway, let me go on. Okay. The Ministry of Finance and Development, yeah. No, I will not do that to CDC people the afternoon. But I'll just bring it up. And any sedition come on the podcast here tonight and try to say that's not true. I will pull it up and I will read it. But I will not do it yet. Let's see. Anyway, listen to this. The Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the Ministry of Health provided data as proof of cash disbursement to the health facilities nationwide for the year ending 2022 to correct the assertion made in the ambassador's statement that no funding was reaching the healthcare center. So when the ambassador made that statement, said the people haven't gotten paid. The budget, the people said they put the money in the budget, but it's not coming to these people. So now they're saying the Minister of Finance were able to say, they said they provided some data. And I don't see nothing else. Just saying, no, that's what they say. They provided some data to show that these people been getting their money. Okay. But I will address that later. Please, you will not rush it. We will not rush you people. I beg you. You'll take our time. The data review that about 7.2 million was disbursed to more than 70 hospital, clinics, and healthcare centers across Liberia. Okay. Representing operational activities and excluding, here's the interesting thing now, watch this. The $7.2 million that went, excluding, that's for operational activities, and excluding salaries of employees, rents for the building themselves, drugs. What you if you let it, that's that one thing I love about CDC. And when the labor CDC, they let them put their foot in their own mouth. They said they sent $7.2 million, but now including, listen, me, where you get hospital for? When they reaching any hospital there to help people, but look at some of the things that is missing from that. There's 7.2 million they sent to the people. One of the key ingredients of having a hospital is missing. Listen to this one. Let me read that again. But I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. So he says, yeah, salary of employees, excluding salary, not including, excluding excluding salary of employees, rent, drugs, vaccine, which are provided by central government through the national budget or with assistance for development partners. Only Samuel Twe can put that kind of thing to us. Only Samuel Twe. He's telling them $7.2 million went out, but no vaccine, no drugs. So what they do? Oh, I see. In total, those days when you're playing football, you call your fault because we know you don't have shoes to wear. So when you kick the ball, so then you kick one big rock, then you cut your toe. Then you go behind the house. They have their leaves. The leaves smell like peppermint. Serious story here. The leaves smell of peppermint. So they will take it and put it on in the fire and turn it around like they up and down until it turns. It's still green, but the leaves becomes like almost not burned, but almost like you cook something. Then they take it, they go like this, rub it in your hand, then they put it on your sore. Then they take I don't call it bamboo leaves or something, or banana leaf or something, and tie it. Because no drugs, no vaccine. So what's the purpose of the hospital now? How do you treat these people? I'm not a medical person, so please don't come and say to treat people in the hospital, you don't just need drugs. There are other things. Okay, I'll give it to you. All right. So let's go on. The report showed that some of the facilities received their operational support in both United States dollars and Liberian dollar, while others receive exclusively in Liberian dollar or United States dollar. The top 10 receiver accounted for about $3.8 million or 59% of the total $7.2 million disbursed to 70 plus healthcare facility across Liberia. The top 10 receivers include referral hospitals such as Jackson F. Doe Hospital, CB Dunbar Hospital. I'm just putting hospital not there, but I'm putting it there. Okay, CB Dunbar Hospital, Phoebe Hospital, School of Medicine, Talawan Hospital, John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital, and Redemption Hospital, etc. The Liberian government remain dedicated to investing in critical health infrastructure across the country as it builds clinics and hospitals while also prioritizing human capital development. The government is also strengthening the free and compulsory primary education initiative, improving school infrastructure, and developing standard curriculum leading to major improvement in student performance in WIEX and WIEX. Okay, so this is their response to the ambassador. And to be honest with you, I want to thank Prince Sherry. Let me play Prince Sherry's stuff again, folks. Let me play that again, because I think at this time it's very important.
Likelihood of information being distorted. There is a likelihood of one misunderstanding the information. So in order for us to deal with this issue adequately, there is a need for all of us to hold our houses, for all of us to be patient and allow the requisite authority. And that's why I want to use this medium to call on those agencies, those requisite authority of government, that there is a need for you to be able to speak to this thing. Look, we are not begging you. Let me say this. We are not begging you. The Liberian people are not begging you to speak to these things. We are giving you an ultimatum because you are working for the Liberian people that you must speak to these issues. We, the Liberian people, must know whether this allegation that was raised by these people, whether they are factual or they are not factual. You must speak to them.
The beginning he got control. Myself, I will not even remember the Liberian government. I'm shaking right now. If that thing happened Tuesday, I'm shaking right now. Can you imagine working for the government? Prince Sherry is telling you, we're giving you an ultimatum, you better speak to this. And surely, for sure. Minister information comes out to clarify. So now, this is what I think I need to do now. If something happened and the government is not responding, I probably need to call Prince Sherry and say, I will tell you, come on, show again, I'll begin. Come, maybe you will tell people to respond. No, this is very serious. Now, let's go now. Tell me who among us here that believe this response from the Minister of Information? Do you seriously believe that they truly disbursed $7.2 million to the health facility all over Liberia? Do you believe that? I don't. You see, when they do these kinds of stuff, then they wonder why people are bringing all things up. Because they are not trustworthy. They have abused their trust. They trust Liberian people reports in there. They have abused that already. You remember $25 million map out in the report? And I say, sedition, don't dare me because I got a report here. I don't want to go through that. But they listed people that were not part of the map out. They gave phone numbers that don't even work. What make you think now that they see people that were deceiving the auditors, that they will come out and tell us this is what happened, and we sit down here to believe it? People think we're stupid. We're not stupid around here anymore. It's just not the same group that goes out and borrow money that they're not supposed to borrow. And the international community were complaining, why you're taking money by, you're not paying them. What make them think now, these same people that go out and take real fund money and put it somewhere else, what make people, Samuel Twain, to think that people are going to believe him when he make these kinds of assumptions? And you think that people just going to sit down and, yes, you think you're giving clarification and you give us nothing. Nothing you give us. Nothing. Because even if you put on black and white, we still don't believe you. Because you have lied to us before. Not only us. You lied to people who were asked by the community, by their own government, to do an audit about that $25 million map out. You gave people numbers that were not part of it. They were calling it, I don't know anything about your money business. No. People names that were not even, they don't even exist. It's all in the report. Now you want the ambassador, after the ambassador came up and put that slap in all of our ears, instead of you to come and say, look, ambassador, you're right. I think from this point on, we will be very careful. We're doing our best. But thank you. We will do what we can. Things are a little bit difficult. You leave it as that. But now you come in here and come put dollar figure around, and you think people will believe you? You think the international community believe you? You think the ambassador believe that? No. Nobody in their right mind will believe that. Because you people have abused the trust of the Liberian people. On so many occasions. On so many occasions. And this is one of them. So for me, you haven't convinced me anything. The only convincing part here is to see my little son, the man, and you guys responded. So I think, and he also stated something I'm watching. He said, any of these legislation, that instead of them, when they go on their break, instead of them going back home to work on problems in there, when they come here to the United States, we will protest again. I'm waiting to see that. Most likely he's going to do it. I mean, this is a guy who spoke on LPR, and the entire government was shaking. I hope I'm not getting Prince in any trouble here. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's what it is. That's it. And you expect us to say yes. This government, this government is doing so good, and we appreciate. Yes. What I do appreciate, if for once, you guys will come and respond, and not being bobo on thing on the one here. I appreciate that. But I tell you, perhaps you would have done better than this. Because if you think you're going to come and throw numbers around and expect us to believe that, Samuel 12, if you spend that kind of money in the hospital the last time when you had the accident, why did you go abroad for treatment? If you spend that kind of money to JFK, if you spend that kind of money to the hospitals in Liberia, why were you able, your injury was so extensive that no medical practitioner in Liberia can take care of it except to do it abroad? So then the question that I have, Honorable Toy, why if other Liberians get sick or involved in an accident with injury just as extensive as yours, but they don't have money to go anywhere? What happened? I think we have done better to say, you know what, Ambassador, thank you. We appreciate you guys continue to support our budgeting process. I'm not a finance person, so please, whatever I say about budgeting and what have you, but anyway, support our economy. We appreciate it, but we're doing our best. Things are hard. We're not making any excuses, sir. Thank you for bringing it up. But believe me, the president of the Republic of Liberia is doing everything in his power to make sure our people, the suffering is alleviated from our people. I mean, we do all we can to make sure our people don't suffer much anymore. But thank you for bringing this up again. We appreciate your honest assessment. And you're done. But you're coming out here putting these numbers. You think people are going to believe you? Do you really believe that when you put these numbers up, people will agree with you? We're not stupid around here anymore. Everybody now know what's going on. We don't have to question you face to face, but we look at your past record, Samuel 12. We look at you were the captain of the map up. Then when things start going wrong, then you say, I just get the money. I just get the money, whatever they do. Who want to believe that? Who want to believe that? This is something that is unacceptable. And I think at this point, the elections coming up, all of those that are with this president, they need to rethink seriously. Are you going to be sincere with the president? And perhaps face the president and say no sometimes. Not in a rude way, but a respectful way. Even if you're older than him, he's our president. He's like the father of the nation. I'm older than him. But if I were to sit face to face and going to say no, I would be very, very respectful. But my no would be no. But at the same time, I will also have it at the back of my mind that he has the right, constitutional right, to say, forget your no, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. But at that time, deep inside of me, between my God and myself, I have done my best. I have given him my own assessment as to how things stand. And I believe I wasn't doing it, or I'm not going to do it based on jealousy. First, I do it because I love him, number one. And I'm doing it because I love my country. And I'm doing it so that he will be successful. But he also have the right to say, no, Samson, I'm not going to take that. I will make this decision. And once that happens, that's when they say the buck stop with the president. Okay? So this is just something you got to go back again. Prince Sherry, please come back on my show again. Demand these people to come and give us some accurate information. You know, not to come out here and try to dilute the statement from the ambassador. I think the ambassador said, I think he Cromwell. The ambassador, I think a Cromwell. Because everybody claiming him now. The other day, somebody said, oh, the ambassador Perriman. The other, oh, the ambassador Lofa County Gisi man. So myself, I said the ambassador Cromwell. Yeah. Why I can't claim me too? No, but on a very serious note, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So let us continue to pray for one another. Okay. But Prince Sherry, thank you the last time for coming on Liberian Public Radio. I really appreciate it. And like I said, whether I like it or not, you are Bagu. You know, one thing I like about the Begin, and I older than him, so I can call him Begin. One thing I like about him is that he got into an exchange, intellectual exchange with one of the brilliant mind of all time, Sissy Goyer, young Liberian. But Prince Sherry was not being, Sissy didn't shake him up. No. He held his position. And I like that. Even if his position, that's who I am. Here's the thing I used to tell people when I was younger now. I look in the sky and I say the sky is red. Who are you to tell me the sky is not red? What you can see is that's the same thing I see. You see where I'm going with it? So this is what we say we have to respect each other view. And I think, and one of the interesting things this young man was doing also, when you're speaking, very quiet, taking note. Young man, your opposition, young opposition, you better put yourself together because when you meet up with people like Prince Sherry, that ain't Jefferson coach here. That ain't Jefferson coach who can put all the adjective together and then blue and put it out there and then it says sour. That not Prince Sherry. This young man, he's truly educating himself. And when he meet up with you guys, I pray to God to be alive. And I hope to be there and just watch the show. Because the other day when he was having this engagement with Sissy, I was quiet. I was enjoying myself. You know why? Well, of course, it was my job to ask questions, but I was enjoying myself. Mesmerized. I was enjoying myself, truthfully. But anyhow, so I think the rebuttal or the response from the government is weak. I gave that response C-. And the reason why I gave it C- and not F totally, because they were very respectful. They were not giving their CDC row response. They were very respectful. Very respectful. Even the sedition here in the diaspora, they haven't gone. They when they're ready, so that they can go and cause the ambassador. Then the people know nothing. Yeah. You heard one of the interesting things that night. There was another young sedition. Pretty much, and I'm just paraphrasing. Why the man can't mind business? Pretty much. Why does he have to travel all over the place? Well, my son, these people take their hard-earned taxpayer money and send it to you for your people to eat. They have the right to know what you're doing with their money. And this is some of the things that was happening with the that's why these people were put, the sanction came about. But let me move on. My Barclay, Johnsonville Township. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Morris, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We appreciate you, but please stay with us. Let me move on now. Another subject matter here tonight, and that one I'm going to be opening it up very quickly, very shortly here. Another subject matter here tonight is this upcoming how do you call it? Oh, let me send this thing out now. Jesus. Okay. Okay. This upcoming selection for vice president, for me, I've already told you guys where I stand. In as much as I admire Ambassador BOAKAI, I think this thing gonna come back and bite Ambassador BOAKAI. I truly believe that. Truly believe that. And I could be wrong. Don't, I'm not someone, I mean, we make these statements from time to time, and sometimes we're wrong. But I believe why I truly accept Ambassador BOAKAI to shine, and nothing else should stop it. Nobody should intrude himself into it, except my sister tried to do that today. I thought it was a little bit too much. At the same time, Ambassador BOAKAI, there's no way, if he goes out tomorrow and truly select what's his name, Prince Johnson guy, then I think whatever happened, he should have himself to blame. Because Prince Johnson is not going to be quiet. Prince Johnson is not, he's not like Prophet Key, he's not going to cuss. But you will meddle into your business, into your administrative business. Instead of staying in the Senate, you will meddle into your administrative. Ambassador BOAKAI got two problems. Not only Prince Johnson, he got to worry about. Got to worry about Edwin Snow. Folks, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Ambassador BOAKAI, as far as I'm concerned, he's still a stabilizer. He's still a stabilizer. So I truly believe that when he comes in, he's going to stabilize this ship. But from the conversation, yeah, let me read something. According to the news report, after the people, Bernard Ure, Costa, Nobly, and everybody, when they heard it, they decided to have a meeting with him. And according to report, now those reports have not been confirmed one way or the other, but according to report, Bernard Ure said, I'm paraphrasing it, that you're gonna be dancing with the devil. And according to report, Ambassador BOAKAI replied, if the devil maybe you win the presidency, so yeah, I want to dance with him. But people, yeah, we will be inside for long. So, but if that report is true, then all I can say about the good ambassador who I consider to be a stabilizer, then the point of Liberians' well-being, I don't think he has that at the top of his head. I think becoming the president at all means and at all cost is at the top of his agenda. And so if this happened and they having to go for a debate, I don't think Ambassador BOAKAI going to do well in the debate. Well, he has the command of the subject matter. There's no question to ask. But if you're not in it, other than just to be the president, then most likely your answer, people will see through your answer as it is. That's what it's going to be. Because if you're not in it for the Liberian people, but for yourself, it will come through. It will come through. Now, for me, Senator Cohn, some of the video that I've been watching, I don't know him. I've never talked to him before. But just from listening to him, not only is he educated, but he got sense, plenty sense, very, very intelligent, hardworking. So I don't believe that Senator Cohn will want to come in and try to do what is happening now in this administration. I don't believe that. But my point is this. If this thing becomes real, that Ambassador BOAKAI goes out tomorrow and select Senator Cohn, it's going to be very interesting. The response from his supporters, core supporters, and if he doesn't, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. If what the report is suggesting, that he was invited in a meeting, then I think he's gonna have a very rocky road ahead. Because people like Bernard Ure, Costa, my own sister, those are supporters that were not waving. Those were people who committed themselves to the success of Ambassador BOAKAI as to become president of the Republic of Liberia. Now, but I'm not surprised. I don't know Ambassador BOAKAI either. He doesn't know me, but I admire him. And I sit on this platform saying that he will be the best person in terms of stabilizing the ship. But I'm also, I have ability to compartmentalize my issue here and there. So I know how to separate myself. I also know that I don't believe that Ambassador BOAKAI is a person that will be someone who would say, you bring the issue here, let's try to find solution. And the reason I'm saying this is this. Just like CDC and the money issue, the reason I'm saying this is this. Ambassador BOAKAI, when he was here at the Philadelphia Hall, where the issue of Costa daily attacking Cummings came up, and he gave us a parable. In a sense, it's been so long, I don't quite remember the part, but I remember a little bit of it, where he said you have a log or a plank, and you put so many nails in it, and that plank, you put it on something, all those nails, even if they don't hit that same thing, that exactly thing you want, but everything around it will be, those nails gonna get them. Let me bring in Mr. Josh, who's just joining me. Thank you very much, Mr. Josh. That will be him on Josh, that is. So Ambassador BOAKAI said, these things, they are not difficult to deal with. Once I go back home, I will make sure these things stop and we will come together. We're not enemies. Komi and myself, we're not enemies. I'm paraphrasing it. We will make sure these things come together. He got home, we never heard from him. It continues for a very long time. So now, a second thing that I want to point out here very quickly. Even if is your intent not to select all of those other people that been with you, been working with you. Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Cohn just got in here within the last month or so. But there are people who has been working with you, been carrying your load, been carrying your baggage from time to time. And when the name of Costa came out the last time, you know, people were excited and what have you. That's fine. You don't have to select any of them. But what I thought will happen, instead of he being invited, according to the story, he should be the one to invite them to say before you hear anything outside, this is what's happening. Because if he had done so, I don't believe that he'll be invited for the conversation. Because then if he had done so, then the conversation would have been held at whatever place they're having they invited the people in. But instead, he becomes an invitee. As a leader, I don't know much about leadership because myself, I don't know I don't know anything about leadership. But for goodness sake, not forget about being the president. He's older than all of those people. So there's no reason that you need to go to them. You invite them to your house and say, before you hear anything out there, this is what it is. Hear it from me first. But at this point, let me bring in. I got Mr. George here. Let me take Ambassador Waka off. So Mr. George, I can bring him on. Okay. So, but that didn't happen. Mr. Josh.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. What do you make of my one-on-one conversation with Samson Toll here this afternoon?
Yeah, great. Great. You know, the people got a proverb. They say if you see a fine cup of gold going down the river, don't feel sorry for that cup. Because if that cup was beautiful, got good weight, somebody would have grabbed it a long time. Nobody will allow that cup to be falling down the river. What do I mean by this? Let me just add to what you were saying. BOAKAI play Costa, Benina Yuri, and Yomi Kanga. What he has done or will do, that is from the old political playbook. This is how he did to them, or he will do to them. That tomorrow we don't know yet. But if the news is true, then of course that's the game he played. Let me tell you something. Costa, you know I will go after Costa. Costa, the United Party were on life support. It was Costa that resuscitated that United Party. He, Benina Yure, and Yomi Kanga dismantled the CPP. It was Costa. That news that came out, BOAKAI promised Costa you're going to gain that big shape. And someone will say, oh, what happened? Let me, Mr. Toll, let me take you back. You remember the night we're on the program and Costa called. And he came, he said, oh, he was just browsing through and he came across and he saw me saying something, so he wanted to come to set the record straight that night. Go and watch that video. Mr. So asked Costa, who you think Omen BOAKAI will carry as VP? Costa said, I don't know. Costa said he will carry someone. So someone like who he said the person will be young and popular. Go and watch that video. So when that news broke that VP BOAKAI was contemplating carrying Costa, I put one and one together. So it means that BOAKAI had promised Costa before. Because Costa is 100% young, popular, close to the United Party. So he promised a young man. And he had promised young lady. He has shown Benin Ayure. Why do you think Benin Ayure then took BOAKAI to Nigeria? Why? Why? You think they knew that he was not going to carry Costa and they were making an effort to take him around? No. He had assured them that he was going to carry Costa. So they started making those moves. Yomi Kanga, he had promised Yomi Kanga, hey, give me your support. Rest assured. Only at the end of the day, now this rumor coming out that Jeremiah Combs is the guy he carried. Costa ambition for the Senate, he dashed it. Costa was not talking about no more senatorial position again to run because he had been assured. You see how politicians can destroy people. Now, Costa will not be the running mate to Honorable BOAKAI. Costa cannot go now to run as Senate for a senatorial position. No way. Because he had taken all the oxygen out of Costa. That momentum that Costa was building to challenge South Joseph, BOAKAI took it out. So Costa now, Benin Ayure, Yomi Kanga, they are the loser. In this whole game, they are the loser. And the rumor I'm hearing that Benin Ayure Costa will not be to that program tomorrow. That's the rumor I'm hearing. But maybe it could be true or not, but they saying that they won't
Well,
be.
that would be very interesting to watch. And if we don't see them there tomorrow, then we'll know that BOAKAI political career is quite pretty much, because without the support of Benin Ayure, Costa, Yumlin, and other people, he's going nowhere.
Yeah,
Even with all the vote coming from Nimakane, he's not going to go anywhere.
You know, I always talk about Costa. Costa, I say he's a young man, smart. But I said the problem I have with Costa is his temperament. I always told him. In that program he come out there, I would think Costa, temperament. That's the issue I have with Costa. The way sometimes he responds to things. If you are going to be a leader, you cannot respond like that to everything. That's one of the issues I have. Other than that, I love Costa. But that's why
we all do. I mean, he's a brilliant.
Yeah.
The thing I like about him, he's a brilliant young man.
Brilliant guy, young man.
You know,
but that temperament.
Yeah, but those guys, you know, ever since he got to Liberia, his temperament has been a little bit different.
He's not only because he was assured of the job, so he has to start acting like a leader now. But what happens if you are not in that position? What do you do? Because here's the danger here. If you're behaving like that and you get state power, the power that you can say, I don't want to see this person, and they will move that person. What happens if someone crosses your way? That is the thing.
Right.
I always say it. That is the problem. I said Costa has to change the way he go about speaking to people, responding to things. The temperament of Costa, that is the problem that I have with him. Other than that, no. Because I always say, Costa, you cannot go down this path to be a leader.
But what I'm saying is tomorrow, if he goes through with this, even if Costa, Senator Yumley, and Honorable Ure, if they show up tomorrow, and just to be salad dressing, it's still not going to be helpful. The fact that if according to what I've been reading, if he had invited these people to tell them, instead, I think that according to the story, they invited him.
Yeah.
they invite. So in order for him to be invited, they invite him to first to ascertain the truthfulness of the story they're hearing. Number one, and second is having then what's about us, that kind of conversation. Knowing Costa, if this thing doesn't go, even if he wasn't to be selected, but to bring somebody that he had insulted publicly, to bring that person up, even though he apologized later, but to bring that person up as a VP candidate, and you expect Costa to go and run campaign for you guys. I hope he's capable of doing it. If he's thinking about his own future political career, he can do it. But how much energy and time and how much sweat and heart gonna be in it? And this is where I think Ambassador Boakai, not that I keep saying that Senator Cohn is a brilliant young man as well. When you listen to him, he expressed himself fairly well. I mean, there's no, he talks about other issues that you would think, say, okay, maybe somebody hurting in the past, but he doesn't seem to be somebody who is of a vindictive nature. I never suspected that of him, and I think he's a good leader. But my thing is, if you have people around you throughout for the last 2 years, okay, when you and Comey and everybody was having the issues, they were behind you. All they were trying to do is to push your candidacy so you'll be successful. Now, if you have decided to say, look, I thank you guys. You guys are wonderful people, but I just want to go with somebody different. Talk to them first. Instead, they have to invite you to now to try to find out whether the rumor is correct or not. That is not a sign of somebody who I consider to be stabilizer.
Well, let me hold you.
I think and what I do suspect is that President, we are going to be reelected. There's no two-way street about this.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, because if this thing is not going to go, it's not going to end well.
Well,
Prince Johnson is not going to be able to fully deliver Nima County to Ambassador Boakai. Nima County is going to be split.
My candidate. Let me say something to you, Mr. Toh, before I go to that issue. What you are trying to say here, that proverb that Honorable Boakai used, if what we hear happen tomorrow, that will be the response for Boakai, the interpretation. You say the nail where you nail in the stake, the person who do it can forget, but the person who who are trying to fix that, the person that you harm, they will remember you who did it, you can forget, but the person that might will still remember the person, something like that. And you were heard tip from the past campaign 2017, Costa referring to Honorable Boakai. And Boakai made that statement. What makes you think that Boakai will forgive Costa?
In fact, there's a video that I have also about from Edwin Snow.
Yes.
Who was saying how Boakai is still resentful.
Yes.
So this Monuba young man, Dr. Monuba, who wants to be president, because of his father dealing with Boakai. So it's gloves are going to be coming off here very shortly.
Yeah. So you see what happened. Honorable Boakai will use these people to get to if it will cause him to get to that bridge, to cross that bridge. When he crosses that bridge, he will dash you.
Not he can't do that to Prince Johnson. If he tries that with Prince Johnson, he's gonna. But
here's the thing, Prince Johnson aim has already been accomplished. If Jeremiah Cohn is nominated, Prince Johnson's job is done. I mean,
yeah, but what I'm saying is he cannot try that with people from Nima County. because
But-
they're gonna make his life miserable.
But
Seriously
if
miserable.
if he carried this man, that what Prince Johnson want them, Prince Johnson's mission is accomplished. But what I'm saying here, what he did, if this story is true, what he did to Costa was on the air, insulting Mr. Cummings, calling Mr. Cummings, you finger documents. You only can get a passing document to Costa, destroying that man. It was Boakai who was behind that. I got to see it now. I can tell you about it was Boakai who was behind that thing.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but that's.
Well, okay, Mr. Toll, let me ask you: did Boakai ever address that issue about the CPP? Did he ever?
Well, not to my knowledge.
Okay. He was sitting down when Costa was insulting Mr. Cummings. He never said a word as a leader, and he was then the chairman at that time.
What I'm also going to speculate here tonight, Mr. George, is that is this, and I think if the selection process goes tomorrow, number one, then I think Liberians need to put the drum, I call it the skin, the goat skin that you put over the drum. They should put it in the sun, let it dry, and then put it back in the water so it can stretch, because they're going to have to fix that drum to dance. Then, if Ambassador Baka wins the presidency, Nima County will dance for almost 1 year straight, every day, because then Kun would, there's no two-way street about it. Kun will be president.
Kun will be the de facto president.
Not only de facto, Kun will be because Ambassador Baka will not come second term.
No.
And not only second term, by the time they get to 6 years, Ambassador Baka will not be able to move around as much as he would like to. And governments all over the world might not be able to relate to him as much as they should. Instead, they will relate all of the information to Senator Kun. And then, like you correctly stated, Senator Kun then becomes de facto president of the Republic of Liberia through the instrumentality of Prince Johnson, who and then you all of us who say, "Oh, Prince Johnson, then we should now at that time truly bow to Prince Johnson and call him the true godfather of Nima County." I think if I were Prince Johnson at that point, as soon as this thing happened, Ambassador Baka then win, I would tell Liberian, I'm not seeking re-election, I'm out. Because then he has done his job. If he fought, I mean, whether you like it or not, he fought and defended Liberians according to him. He was not fighting for greed or anything. He was fighting to liberate the people. I got a book here. I got his book here. He made a lot of point in that book. He was fighting to liberate his people according to him. So the liberation part is over. But now to take them to the next step, he tried that with President Weah and McGill and Samuel Tua and the rest of the people. They were just too smart for them. Now he's try again, and then Ambassador Baka opened the door, which now gave him the second chance for the second act of Prince Johnson. So it's like people say, he got nine lives, and then I think that's one of the things that coming up. But what they're gonna do, most likely, this thing has guaranteed Ambassador Weah re-election. There's no question.
I can agree with that, because we have competent people in Liberia. It's not Omer Boakai.
Mr. George.
Todd, that's your belief.
Liberians are not going to be voting based on ideology or ideas. I would say Liberian, many Liberian, those at the voting age, they will be voting based on popularity. And President Weah is very popular. And President Weah has not done anything, of course, but at the same time, he has not done much thing that Liberian would try to regret or say that this is disgraceful. He hasn't gotten to that point yet.
So are you telling me majority of Liberians are comfortable with what is happening today in the country?
No, but they're not going. They're not going to throw President Weah out because of what is happening in the country. They're not going to, unless.
So are you saying these people are comfortable? So are you saying that these people are comfortable with the status quo?
Not quite, but here's the thing here. If CPP were not together, Senator Dallas Dillon would not have been elected. CDC would have flocked Senator Dallas Dillon. But because of the cooperation the opposition had as one bloc, gave them that opportunity to move to that next level. You saw what happened to Taylor Ure and what's his name, and the guy who was drawing two checks, Abu Kamara. You saw what happened when they at that point the collaborating political party were not quite as together as they did during the Senator Dallas Dillon election. The thing here is this. I think if this selection process goes tomorrow, two things, as I stated yesterday, they have now given a platform or a leeway or a bridge for independent sedition to go back home.
But you know that's a view I care about. We all talk to people in Liberia. Maybe some of the people we talk to, they're not telling the real truth or what have you. But this election is very consequential to Liberians. And for you to say because of this, President will win, for me, I doubt it. I want to see the Liberians.
Do you think, Mr. Josh, with this kinds of issue and selection process, do you see Costa, Ben Layure, and even my sister Yombly campaigning wholeheartedly for Ambassador BOAKAI?
Well, it doesn't. I don't know what you mean by wholeheartedly.
I mean, with their whole mind on it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, this is politics. Maybe Omen BOAKAI talked to them and gave them assurance that, hey, if we win, I'm gonna give you some position, ministers. So it could be. I mean, the biggest thing, the bigger enemy, the bull man in the room is George Weah. So
but this is what I keep saying to you guys.
If they can compromise, if they can reach a point that they will compromise, that's a look. I know I did something wrong. I promise you people, and for some reason I went this way, but I can guarantee people this. But again,
I mean, we're talking Liberian politics, so that's
it's politics. It's no contract that people sign document. It's barely gentleman understanding agreement. I trust you. You do it one to me. Okay, I'll give you this. Okay, that's it. And at the end of the day, if you get there, you say, "Hey, my man, I can't do it." That's it. There's no guarantee that I can hold you legally. No.
Well, you know, I think
what I continue to say, Omen BOAKAI maybe if Jeremiah is nominated tomorrow, where all we're hearing now that all is said, I think he will have to go back to Costa then talk to them as children. Because for me, I continue to say
the entire audience are turned on me now.
What I continue to say here is that if the nomination go through tomorrow, Omen BOAKAI did not treat Costa, Yombly, and Benina right. If this announcement, as we are hearing, goes through tomorrow, I can definitely tell you that Omen BOAKAI did not treat Costa then right, especially with Costa.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because Costa raised everything. I mean, Costa was, going after people viciously to protect Joseph BOAKAI.
Yeah.
But he assured this young man something. Because I know from all the things I saw Costa talking with the conversation, Yeah, sure, I meant something.
Somebody who introduced me to Joseph Boakai just turned into our podcast. So I I appreciate that. But no, seriously, the point that I'm trying to make is for you to go and after these people they stuck with you, they been with you all these months, 2 years straight, because of you. People they were being insulted bitterly. And even if you're not going to pick them, have a meeting with
those
all of them.
you should have met. Those are people you should have met first.
Yes, and said, this, I'm taking this route. But instead, they're going to invite, this is what I'm saying. They're going to invite you.
If that is true, that they invited him, then I wonder, what I said for this old man is true. Because there's no way people will do that kind of work for you and you decide to take a decision contrary to what you are told them.
So basically what Ambassador Boakai have done here, from my perspective, that is, what Ambassador Boakai have done here is that he truly believed that the hate or the problem with President Weah leadership, that Liberians, including Costa and the rest of the people, are so tired with President Weah leadership that they're not going to mind the way they're being treated. They're going to say, okay, it doesn't matter the way I've been treated. I will still make sure this man elected because because President Weah have done nothing for this country. I've turned this country upside down. And so my hate for this president, well, not hate, but my disdain for the president being the president, continue to be president, will be overshadowed by whatever thing these men have done to. And I'm saying that's not possible. Well, you cannot come to these kinds of stuff. You cannot come to these kinds of stuff hoping that people will come to you based on hate. Hate is just a matter of time before it goes away.
Well, that's why my candidate or our candidate is working hard, because this kind of added this thing, and I continue to say, if it goes through tomorrow, then somebody who is sincere will have to start questioning Omen Boakai. Is that how can someone depend on you?
Yeah.
How can someone depend on you? If this thing, I'm continuing you if.
Yeah, I'm saying if.
Because if this thing go through, then how can you be a partner to someone that someone can rely on you? People have been seeing this thing about Honorable Boakai.
And not only that, Mr. George, the international community are also looking at these kinds of stuff. Can this man be a serious partner in serious discussion?
Yeah. The last time,
and the sad thing is, this man has he's the most experienced man in the entire race. And he has the ability to stabilize this ship. I keep saying that. But to have these unforced error, I believe similar situation like this happened with Nokwe and what have you the last time. It didn't take you anywhere. Who are the people that continue to surround themselves around Ambassador Boakai to make these kind of decisions?
But here's the thing here. The last time when Mr. Cummings announced Louis Brown to be on his team and Dr. McIntosh, we saw the kind of attack that was leveled against us, including you, including Samson too. You were on me on this platform. Louis Brown, that he worked for Charles Taylor, so he committed crime. But nobody had proven anything. Even Dr. Tennant, who and Louis Brown were at the university at the time, he said he saw Louis Brown in Boston. They saw him. He had gone, but he had not brought anybody to attest to that issue. But Prince Johnson today is in the camp of Joseph Boakai, in bed with Joseph Boakai politically.
But we've been that's the song we've all been singing.
Everybody embrace. Everybody not embracing him.
No, not everyone. Not all of us embrace. In fact, yesterday, right on the same platform, I said, and I'm continuing to say that Senator Kuhn and Ambassador Barker should distance themselves.
Senator Kuhn cannot distance himself from president. That's the man who is making Kuhn. How can he distance himself from his father?
Well, then, okay, that's fine. But the point
I
is,
see the United Party folks who are claiming on Mr. Cummings for bringing Louis Brown on, they are now embracing Prince Johnson. You see the double standard?
Well, at this point, I'm not even looking at that. My point is, my stabilizer, the person who I admire greatly, the decision-making process, from my perspective, it doesn't bode well. To be honest with you,
let me tell you one thing, and let me throw some travel thing in it, and let me hear you. Benina Ure, Costa, they have a lane. BOAKAI, way up there. So he said, hey, if I bring the people closer, there's more people I bring in. So I will go and take my own Yabawulu. The guy just around me to put in a bubble so they will take over. So he played a travel card. This is because I said the same thing about the old man. And he come to play up. In Costa's own word, he said it. That this man was tribalistic. And he exploited that Costa word about Omi BOAKAI. And now it coming right back to Boy Costa. What he said about the man. See that?
Well, let me put a number up.
So we can go back and forth, but the Liberian people will have to make a decision because it's not BOAKAI alone running. It's not person we are alone running. You got Mr. Ezra coming, a very fine young man. You got Councillor Gonglo, a very fine young man. So there's no way anybody can say there's nobody under two of them. No. Nobody can say only two of them. No. You got 4 or 5 persons running. So if you like A, you can take B. You like B, you can go to C.
So what happened to the number? Yeah.
So this conversation is just a prelude for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting tomorrow.
Because all indications are the city will be locked down tomorrow. I heard some folks this evening that the United Party folks want to lock down the city. But Samson, let me ask you this question. Will Ellen Johnson say be at that program?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Why?
Well, maybe she might. I mean, she's somebody. Oh no, she might be. She might be.
And I heard something yesterday from the chairman of the United Party. It seemed that he himself, they are now reaching out to most of the key players because he was saying, we are now reaching out to everybody. And if you want everybody to be on board by this time, why will you be reaching out to everybody? Reaching out to everybody by this time. So tell me there's some in-hall fighting. Because to be honest with you, think all the United Party, maybe they might be accepting Jeremiah Kuhn just like that from nowhere. He was not a member of the party.
That's the thing that is.
There was no coalition.
You remember Mo Ali with that T-shirt, ranking that T-shirt, and let me take this color. Oh, color, hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. Let me call you right back, color, because I gotta set it up, please. Okay. You remember Mo Ali, your way are coming.
But you put it you said it so the people,
yeah.
The people are anxious.
Yeah. Y'all hold on.
That block who?
Y'all hold on. Y'all hold on.
The man when he ain't got no program, he ain't got no programmer. He
Yeah,
can do everything
alone by himself. So
yeah,
y'all
tomorrow
hold on. Y'all give me a
the city will be locked down tomorrow, according to the Unity Party folks.
yeah.
But
Okay. All right. And y'all can call me now. Y'all can call me.
So I want to see
Samson told Liberian Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, Mr. Toll and Pat George. My name is Ambrose. I'm calling from Kentucky.
Okay.
It's a lot on my mind. Yeah, it's a lot on my mind.
Yeah, but just make it brief. I know you guys have a lot to do tonight, but just make it brief. Go ahead.
Pat George got to understand what our uncle did or the elder did is really, really betrayed. You can't get people destroy their party because of your stick. They destroy their party. They went against their own. They eat their own.
Hold on, caller. Somebody's on. Go ahead, finish, and then I can switch you on. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah. To me?
No, not yet, Prince. Let the guy finish, then I'll put you on. Go ahead, sir. Hello. Ambrose, go ahead. I'm listening. Ambrose. Okay, Ambrose, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Make your point. Yeah, so I can bring the other caller in, please.
You know, Mr. Toll, is really, really disheartening and frustrating. You can't get people destroying their parties. At the end of the day, the 9 hour and you disappoint and you dash their hope. You know, this will haunt Mr. Barker for a long, long time. I don't care. There's no way to fix this.
Okay.
And my only thing I will add, and we'll wait for tomorrow. You need to buy life insurance policy.
Who need to buy life insurance? Who, me?
Mr. Barker. Mr. Barker should buy life insurance policy.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna touch that one. All right. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, Prince. Go ahead, Prince. Mr. Sherry, are you there?
Good evening. Yes, I'm here, sir.
All right. Hello? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever the time is from, the end our audience are listening in a common Liberian way.
But you got to speak louder or get closer to the phone because your voice is.
I want to say, I want to say hello, my people.
Okay.
Mr. Toll, this particular Unity Party was destroyed long before today by Joseph Nyoma Boyka. Before you can be able to lead the people, the issue of reconciliation is very cardinal. One thing we must all understand is that the Unity Party of today is the conglomeration of every opposition political party. You are talking about the Liberty Party. There are some fragments of the Liberty Party that are part of the Unity Party today. You are talking about fragments of the ALP that are also part of that party. You are talking about other people from different even the ANC. They are also part of the Unity Party today. Because as you may be aware, a very, very significant portion of the Unity Party refused to support Joseph Nyoma Boyka because of the gross disrespect that he uttered to, one would say, the mother of that particular party, that is Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You may recall that on her birthday, Joseph Nyoma Boyka asked the then chairman and that of Mo Ali to issue gross disrespect, not only that, but to insult Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who brought him to prominence. You are aware of that. And since then, Joseph Boyka as former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, has not been able to muster the courage to say, look, let us reach across the aisle. At a certain point in time, when they were part of the CPP, we saw what happened. That was a major split that led to major players of the Unity Party, just leaving the Unity Party. Like, for example, the likes of Edwin Snow and etc., etc. They all left the Unity Party because at the time they made it very clear that Joseph Nyuma-Boyka was not somebody who was going to unify the party. And we further saw it, doing his own chairmanship as the chairman of the CPP. All Joseph Boyka did was to divide the CPP. And as I speak to you, there is a major meeting that is ongoing now. In fact, there are some key members of the Unity Party that tonight, because they already get the information who Joseph Nyuma-Boyka has chosen, they are going to be issuing a press statement tomorrow. I mean, very key member, take it from me.
Okay.
They're going to be issuing a press statement tomorrow, distancing themselves from the decision. So you see, everything that Joseph Nyuma-Boyka did up to this moment was to just cause a serious division in the party.
All right,
No point in time that he ever talked about reconciliation.
Thank you,
so
thank you,
how do
Prince.
we expect this man to just lay on this, sir?
Okay.
How do we expect this man that cannot even reconcile maybe just 25 persons that have issues? How will this man reconcile the nation? He now caused problem in Yombri camp. He caused problem in Kun camp. He caused problem in the other camp. He caused problem in the other camp.
All right, Prince. Okay. Prince Sherry, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Prince.
Samson told LIBERIAN Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, hello? You getting me?
Yeah. Sissy, are you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Caller, let Sissy be because Sissy was your first. So Sissy, go ahead, make your point, and then I will bring the caller in.
Hey, Pat Josh and the Liberator, having fun tonight. How you doing?
Yeah, but thank God you're joining us too by phone.
Man, I try to do the Wilton Keto thing.
Go ahead, Sissy.
But anyway, I've been following and I just couldn't resist calling in for a few things, and I'll hurry up. Let me start with my brother Prince because he was not even on my list, but his phone call right now just kind of got me a little bit. My brother Prince, you are a former teacher, man. You got to be able to deal with facts. You can't get kind of talk and can't let no facts out. You can't even do no comparative analysis. Number one, we're still waiting for you because you keep on the show and say in a few days, in a couple of days, 3 days, your government will come by with a rebuttal to the ambassador. We're still waiting for that one. Then
They did that.
Yeah, but who did a rebuttal?
The Minister of Information.
That's the point. It was not a relevant institution because they didn't talk about information. We said the relevant people in those departments, in those organizations were going to come out to speak. They didn't talk anything about information.
But those are, I think you're back in a wrong trip because those are people. The Minister of Information is credited to talk for the government.
The liberal. Prince Sherry's statement was the leaders of those relevant institutions will speak. That was his statement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just going by that.
All right.
A is equals to B. A is equals to B. The second, the other piece is he's talking about reconciliation. Prince Sherry, really? When the CDC has not been able to reconcile with the likes of Ava Tokpa or the like of Zakama, and you're talking about reconciliation. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be careful when you're doing these things, and it might come back and bite you. And you're talking about the Unity Party being a conglomeration of other political parties. Yeah, same thing with the CDC. There are a bunch of people in CDC that give all the political parties. What is the reconciliation in there? So I think you're making a whole big hullabaloo about somebody electing their vice presidential choice. I think we wait until tomorrow. We see who the people put up, and we discuss the issues. And for somebody to say, oh, the man went, he destroyed the other political party, for there to be a betrayal, there has to be a commitment. If they can come out and say that the man made a commitment that you're going to be the VP, he didn't make them VP, then that's a betrayal. But to make an assumption that you'll be a VP and don't become a VP and claim that's a betrayal, that is a gross misunderstanding of the word betrayal. And
Okay.
then for last, for my papa, before I go, he asking the question whether Ellen will be at the event tomorrow. Let me leave him with a question regarding Kwame Clemens. Have Kwame Clemens been to any of Azana Kumi's major announcements?
No, Kwame Clemens.
They were just in our conversation.
No. Kwame Clemens have made his position clear. He said because of his work.
I'm just asking you.
No, don't go. Hold that phone. Don't go. No, hold that phone. Don't go.
Oh, you were holding man for
Yeah.
you were holding phone. The man, wait a minute, spit out. Then he said you were holding phone.
You were holding phone, yeah. Say there's a difference. Ellen Johnson said it was a leader and president of the country.
There is no difference, Papi.
All right, okay.
There is no difference.
All right, let me take this other caller. Thank you,
Tomorrow,
hello,
face to face.
caller.
Yeah. Hello?
Thanks for being patient. We appreciate it. Go ahead, make your point, my brother.
Yeah, the point I want to make is they have to do with.
Can you speak a little bit louder? You're not audible enough for the audience to be able to hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you getting me now?
Yes, much better. Yeah, much better.
Yeah, I think I want to say that, the wisdom of JMB into play here is very, very spectacular in a way that many people believe right now that, like I was reading the Yombly Kanga Lawrence letter she posted, a while ago concerning that JMB told them that I think the ALP and the Liberty Party people that the bystander bearer is not coming from the camp. So, I think that the Yombly Kanga Lawrence group
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
In a sense that they will not be, in a sense that they will not be able to go against JMB, because if they do, everybody's going to look at them to be betrayal. All right. So
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. JMB, who gonna be selecting somebody and from all indication have not informed his colleagues, and they're calling him and asking him question, and you're saying that if they go against him, they'll be considered betrayal.
What do you mean that he did not inform them?
Well, from what I've been reading, he was invited.
Front page story.
From Front Page Africa story, he was invited to Bernard Europe place for them to have a conversation.
I would not want to follow a Front Page Africa because Front Page Africa stories are not always reliable.
Okay, all right. Okay, then I'll. Okay, then I go ahead. Go ahead, make your point.
Yombly Kanga Lawrence wrote a letter stating that JMB visited the both camps and told them that his bystander bearer is not going to be coming from the camp. Have you read Yombly Kanga Lawrence letter?
Yeah, but she didn't say she visited them.
Go and read it.
I read that. I read that. But she didn't say.
Well, anyway, if one would say they invited him before he stated that, well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
But if that is even the case, right? If that is even the case, I don't think they should be obstinate towards that. Why? Because they all have been expecting for JMB to put up his running mate, and they have been saying that they are not saying or expecting JMB to choose them. If he chooses them, it's okay. If he don't choose them, they're still going to support. That is what they have been saying all along.
All right. Okay. So let me put. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish your statement. Then I can put the other color on. Go ahead.
In my mind, the wisdom here is that they have already promoted JMB. They have already brought JMB to the spotlight to everybody, telling everybody that this is the man we need to carry, whether or not we have been chosen to be bystander bearer. So if they come back tomorrow and say no, we JMB is not good, the public will go against them. That is the point I want to make.
Okay. And are you Collins? Collins Terry Collins?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, Colin. Thanks a lot for your call. Appreciate it, sir. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you're calling from? And thanks for your patience.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. So? This is Elvis from Minnesota.
Okay, Elvis. Yeah, thank you for calling.
It's a tool, I should say.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. I think this is a master stroke by JMB,
Mm,
or I would say a potential master stroke by
okay.
him. And as
But
a
you
CDC
you
sympathizer,
don't see any pitfall in the future on this yet.
no, no, what I can boil before I blow you.
Oh, okay.
You know, so
Okay. Go ahead.
yeah,
Okay, go
yeah.
ahead.
This time I'm doing reverse. I will blow before I boil.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing here is, if he can keep these other people committed to his cause, then it will be a master stroke because you're getting everything you want plus more. So if Yombi Kanga will believe that she will become Speaker of the House, and maybe she will get to pick one or two ministerial posts from for the people of Basha, you can negotiate. So the biggest telling point from this whole situation will be if these other people who are on the outside looking in now will coalesce around the vice president and support him 100%. And that's where I think the pitfall is because more than likely it won't be that.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the red meat, the blood is in the water, and CDC now needs to throw their weight around in terms of money.
So my comment
trying
of
to,
saying that this, if they're not careful, most likely CDC will win Joshua will win re-election.
that's what I'm saying because I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, which is the easy part is picking count. The hard part is to get those other people to be behind him 100%. And this is where his leadership skills will come into play if he has any. And I think we've seen that he's kind of a more observant leader rather than a, intuitive, initiative, driven leader. So he's not going to take the steps to make these people, happy in terms of maybe their pocketbooks and ministerial posts and some power in his government. Then he's going to have CDC coming in for the taking because we can reach out to Youngly. It's not impossible. She's not somebody she pretty much is pocketless right now. He can offer her some big position, maybe the new, Speaker of the House to win Grand Bassa County or get some support from that end.
Even if she doesn't have
CDC
the parties in control, though, but she does have the Bassa people behind her.
That's what I'm saying. So she can find a new homie CDC, maybe promising her to reshuffle the cabinet and maybe to show a different face of CDC.
Okay. All right. Ever,
so
thanks.
thank you. I'll leave it there.
Thank you. Samson told. Try to lower your monitor up, Willie, please. Go ahead.
Try to lower your monitor up, Willie, please. Go ahead.
Oh.
Willie,
how you doing, Mr. Toll?
Yeah, but you're killing us with your monitor. It's too loud, very loud.
So let me call back.
Okay. Samson told Liberian Public, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, hi, Mr. Toll. This is Scott Balayan calling from New Jersey.
Oh, okay. How you doing, madam? Thanks for calling. What's on your mind here this evening?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks, for the program, and I really appreciate the both of you analysis that you are making.
So, but they can't speak to me. So, when Mr. Toll on the program,
Mr. George, I tell you.
No, I'm asking you.
I'm going to come to you. Let me answer the phone. Okay, I'm sorry. Hi, Mr. George. How you doing?
How you doing? Okay.
That all?
Yeah.
That all?
Yeah, that all.
You see? Don't confusion that. Okay, I want to thank you guys for the great analysis you guys making on this election or this VP, thing by the standard bearer of the Unity Party, which is the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Unfortunately, you guys are not looking at it from the party perspective. Okay? JB comes from the party. It's not because of the collaboration he has had with these people. And it has been a good collaboration they have had. Unfortunately, the CPP did not hold. But JB comes from the party. JB, rather, he comes from a political party. And the decision that is coming about is coming from the hierarchy of the party, the political party. It is not JNB's decision. This is the Unity Party's decision. So I want people to look at it from that perspective. I think they just say, oh, okay, he disappointed these people. These people are not from the Unity Party. So they cannot go and make decisions for the Unity Party. Their decision is coming from the Unity Party. Okay? So if the hurricane for the Unity Party come out with a decision, that is the decision the Unity Party goes by and they stand by. The political party, the Senate will only be there to make a decision on maybe the two or who candidates they put it forward to hit to select.
So let me ask you this. So the way things are, let me ask you this. So the way things are going right now, you being a strong supporter of this party and this standard bearer, are you happy with how things are unfolding right now?
I might tell you now, it might not go my way, okay? But looking at what it is, it doesn't have to go everybody's way. If the party come up with a decision and it is a better decision, I will go by the party decision. It is not my personal decision. I will stand by. We all have been in support of JMB. And of course, we have to, if he doesn't accept my candidate, I think I should put for as vice president. It is his prerogative to choose who he carries as his VP. Because I will not be running the government.
So then the statement you made that this was a decision by the party, then it's not quite decision of the party. It's the decision of the standard bearer. Is that correct?
No, it is the party because it is not JMB's decision. They are bringing two candidates to him. It is left for him to choose one of the candidates. So that's where it is. So it's not that he just got up and making this decision.
But then let me push a little bit on that. The fact that you are a strong supporter, the fact that you are a strong supporter of Ambassador BOAKAI and the Unity Party as well. Now, this Senator Kuhn, someone who I would just say Johnny come late, so to speak. And the fact that he's now most likely going to be selected tomorrow if all goes the way things are. Does that bode well for the decision-making process of Ambassador BOAKAI from the perspective of the Liberians who are looking and watching?
No, let me, there are some just some things that it is difficult to, to put on air there.
But
let me put you.
A lot of things that are being put on the table to assess. And based on the analysis of these numerous things, decisions have to be made the way it is made. It might not go like my way, it might not go your way, but I mean, that is the decision that has to be taken because of some reasons.
Okay. Mr. George, you say you have a question?
So there are just some things that you cannot put for. I see people in politics, sometimes politics is just different. People get into politics for some reason. But for some who get into politics because of the love of the state, we make decisions based on the interest of the country. Okay? We do not make decisions based on my personal, greed, my personal advertisement. The decision is made on the state, what the people want, what decision that can, make a greater impact on the life of the Liberian people.
Okay.
What can lead to not be a more confusion than a less confusion. You will see there will be a confusion. There is likely a confusion. There is most a confusion. And on the analysis we see, okay, there is likely a confusion. I would radically take a that would be a likely confusion than to take there is most confusion. Okay?
All right.
So that's how we make analysis on a decision.
All right.
So
it must just have one or two questions. It must just have one or two questions you say you want to push on that one. Go ahead, Mr. Josh.
Yeah, let him push it.
Let me take you back. Because before this thing, I heard you people from the Unity Party and almost everybody saying that was the sole prerogative of VP BOAKAI to select anybody he chooses to select. But now you tell me that this was the party decision. So are you telling me the hierarchy of the party got together and recommended people to BOAKAI?
Of course, they will recommend. Then it left with him to choose who he want to choose based on the recommendation. It's not just going in the sky and just pick somebody. He comes from a party.
Okay.
And when the party comes, they bring numerous names.
Well,
And,
okay.
and they bring people.
Okay, let me just ask the final question. The last time when Mr. Cummings named Louis Brown, you were on the program on Louis Brown back.
Individual. Okay,
Now,
individual brought in consultation with the
hold
party.
on now. Yeah, hold on now. Now, you people are in bed with Prince Johnson. Do you have any qualm with that?
Well, you say we people, Prince Johnson is coming in there with us.
No. You have the right. You have the right to reject him. No, hold on, Cotto. No, Cotto, hold on.
Yes.
Mr. Cummings, you were on the same program. Yeah, you were on the same program. How can us that we pick somebody who got a tainted character, which of course, no court have charging. Now, Prince Johnson, former warlord, head of a warlord in Liberia. You telling me, saying he came to people, so you cannot reject him based on all the baggage he got, alleged baggage. You cannot reject him. Saying he came to people. That's what he's telling me now.
You have them right saying that if it was Prince Johnson that was best elected as a vice president. But it is not Prince Johnson that is best elected.
But Cotto, no. You see, this is the point. Cotto, you can't have it both ways. Prince Johnson is the one who is holding Jeremiah Kuhn from the same party. He picked Jeremiah Kuhn to be chairman of that party.
It is not Prince Johnson. Jeremiah Kuhn is not Prince Johnson.
It's not.
Okay.
Hold on. It's not. Jeremiah.
All right. Somebody else is on the line. Let's go ahead. Thank you, Cotto. Appreciate it. I hope we will meet tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, after the announcement, so we can come and chop it up.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Have a good night, Cotto.
Yeah, Sissy, go ahead. I really wanted Cotto to stay on. But yeah, because you see, this is what I spoke about yesterday. The Unity Party will kill an elephant and will eat dry rice. Because they have now sat down to plan a way to have a talking point for leadership. Because Cotto they are in leadership, they have access to more access than an ordinary Liberian person. Yeah. There has to be a planned discussion. They can't tell me that they anticipate the kind of question Mr. George is asking about Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kuhn. They can't tell me that they didn't anticipate the questions about whose decision is it to make to pick a vice president. If they start wavering all over the place, 6 months is going to be a long time, and the people will tear the Unity Party apart because their own words will be used against them. Amos Square. The video is still there. The press conference they had announcing this event. Mm-hmm. There was a journalist that asked Amos Square about this particular thing, and he reiterated, he emphasized along with his sister Fata that the decision is Joseph Boakai's alone to make. Yes. And that Joseph Nima Boakai, by party constitution, will only submit the name to the executive council for executive council to approve or not. But Joseph Nima Boakai's decision, in fact, the man went ahead, and there's been a bunch of people that have been saying the reason political parties in their constitutions make it the choice of the presidential candidate to select the vice presidential running mate is because they want somebody that will be able to work with that person. And that person is speaking. For Cotto to come on this platform after so many months of being on this platform and saying that the decision that Joseph Boakai alone made that decision, she said this on this platform over and over. So now come and say that the party gives two names to Joseph Boakai, but Joseph got to pick out of, that is bad. That is sad, and the Unity Party needs to work on their messaging. Because this is how they're going to end up losing people who have at least a little bit of a likeness for them. When the messaging, it becomes, we said this yesterday, but now what we say when we have the tips from my own sister Cotto, from even people who sit with Joseph Nima Boakai from the Unity Party itself, and most recently from the press conference they had. That is not the truth. They haven't even killed the elephant yet. They're already struggling on how to explain how to divide the elephant. Number two, I listened to Cotto talking about when Pat George asked about Prince Johnson and the warlord and being in bed, and Cotto saying they didn't go to Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson came to them. Yeah. Somebody like their spouse somebody caught their spouse in a relationship where they're cheating, and they say, "Oh, you slept with that man." You say, "No, that means the man. The man slept with me."
Yeah, the man
What
killed me.
difference does that make? What difference does that make? You slept with the man? No, the man slept with me.
No, the man killed me. The man killed me.
The unit party needs to be careful. They have to sit down and craft a message because they should have anticipated that these questions are going to be asked, and they cannot be caught, backtracking and trying to take back their own words as if to say we don't have those conversations on the internet.
Okay.
That was but I wanted my sister to be on the radio, hear me.
Oh Lord.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
you. We'll meet tomorrow. She'll be here tomorrow. All right. Okay, folks. Again, Samson told Liberian Public Radio. We're going to go ahead and take the number out. I want to thank all of you. Mr. Josh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We will do our best to bring Prince Sherry on hopefully next week or so we can have some discussion about infrastructure, road or building, whatever. So we'll talk about those things hopefully next week. But I want to thank you tonight for tuning in and coming in to help us out as usual. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we all
let's meet tomorrow. You see how you must say culturally. I mean, we were cordial with each other here tonight. We ain't got no problem. But as soon as that other man come, that conservative man come, then you follow.
So my brother is the teacher police.
Yeah, he got the problem. Once he show up, as soon as you are to be here right now, you're gonna be chakrai. But look how you must say we're laughing, we're carrying on. He's so jealous. You were writing. He was writing.
No, you know what happened? 2 hours we can't fight, but when fight, nobody will be there to part of. So when we three, then we start fighting. Somebody can come in between.
Okay. All right, Mr. George, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Good night. Okay. Again, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio, want to thank all of you for the wonderful, wonderful show. And we'll be back tomorrow with Mr. Soul Show, and all of us will be here again to have some conversation. I think this thing here, if it happens tomorrow, it's going to be, Ambassador, Ambassador Baka is truly going to, what I'm looking forward to be honest with you, also, in as much as I speak, I'm not too much in favor of it, but I think I like to see what would be the political dividend that he's going to get out of this year. And not only political dividend, but is he going to get some sort of a bump in terms of his popularity and in terms of his name recognition? I don't know if he already recognized all over the country, but as well as he's going to have some sort of a favorable response from the Liberian voters because of the selection of Senator Cohn, not just from Nima County. How was Senator Cohn's jive in the southeast, Lofa County, Bon County, Moserado? Those are the kind of thing that we're all going to, Grand Bassa, we're going to look at it. Grand Bassa people, they're going to be pissed. Are they going to be upset? And if they are, how do you calm them down and reassure them that we're in it together? It's going to be interesting. And I think Ambassador Baka will do himself a big deal to now start talking as much as possible, and not just these soundbite sentences and things like that. He's going to have to do better because he's the most experienced and he can talk. He knows how to talk. So I think this is the time to take onto the podium and spend at least 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, or even an hour standing up. So people will know he's not just going to be the president, he's going to be a worker as well. It's going to be interesting. Samson to Liberian Public Radio, I want to thank all of you and say good night. Are you a black the board chairman? You know, hear that one before? At the board, you CEO at the board chair. Then you say you're black, you're able to black this board. I call meeting on you. And you see, go look at facts. Look in facts. Do you see Tucker Carlson anymore? There's no more chair. He's done. Tucker Carlson out of facts. The next person, you see all the Fox, the Fox News broadcaster and their analysts, before when they're speaking now, they can read now. They read from the paper to know exactly what they're saying so they don't misstep. Because if you say something rude or more that I don't like it, you're out. So you're going to block the board chair tomorrow? You're going to block the board chair tomorrow? Okay. Okay. I will have a board meeting. That's all I got to do. Canada, good evening to you as well. Thank you. Mandy, we're just having fun at this time. We're done. Okay, guys. I want to thank all of you. Seriously, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for continuing to watch. Even if you disagree with us, what I like about you guys a lot is, even if you disagree with us, your expression, the way you express your disagreement, is something that I take to heart, and I appreciate that. Thank you, and good night.
C'est Otis Wema, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas voulu payer. Quand il y a Sylvie, il a quoi que j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas voulu que tu m'as bien demandé de me en somme à plus. Donc, on va bâtir au moins un ou mon temps d'hier, t'as mon mouillé, on s'est abattu pour moi, il dit, tu vois, là, l'occasion. Quand on soit du lot, allez! Why not? That's your law. Yeah, I be la loke yo. Mi vito jogbai. Mi vito inamba. Martis mo pe yo. Manager Gigi. Ouais, pe jamais forcé ou. Si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Inoska Yassin de Toyebi. L'homme a tout fait pour Mivito. Aniche les vieux. Bon, nous doit dire, Batiole, moi, conseiller, c'est moi, dis-moi. Attends, nous, yon bébé. Péteye, mon temps, à nous, Batio. Mon développé, well, look, adieu, Tayo sama de kuya bayan. Ha ha mi, asi de ko se trouble.